Charles Bronson has always been a man of few words, a Hollywood legend whose stoic presence and commanding performances spoke volumes more than any interview ever could. Yet now, after decades of speculation and hushed rumors, Bronson has finally broken his silence about James Garner, the fellow star with whom he shared the screen and the same era of Hollywood fame. Fans, film historians, and industry insiders have waited years to hear Bronson's perspective, and what he reveals promises to reshape how we understand both actors, their rivalry, and the unspoken dynamics of Tinseltown during its golden age. The relationship between Charles Bronson and James Garner has long fascinated Hollywood enthusiasts. Though both men achieved iconic status, stories of tension, competition, and behind-the-scenes clashes have circulated for decades. Bronson's choice to speak now offers rare clarity, providing insight into their personal interactions, professional disagreements, and moments of mutual respect that were often overshadowed by rumor. For many, it's a long-awaited peek behind the curtain of Hollywood legend, offering a glimpse into the personalities behind the larger-than-life personas. The public reaction has been immediate and intense. Fans and media outlets alike are analyzing every word, dissecting the nuances in Bronson's remarks, and debating the implications of his account. Some express surprise at the candor, while others marvel at the understated respect interwoven with tales of rivalry and friction. Beyond mere gossip, these revelations highlight the challenges of navigating fame, the pressures of competing for roles, and the complex ways personal and professional lives intersect in the world of cinema. Ultimately, Charles Bronson's words offer more than answers. They offer context, history, and perspective. For generations of fans and historians, this unprecedented insight into his relationship with James Garner provides a rare understanding of the golden era of Hollywood. It reminds us that even the quietest stars have stories to tell, stories that reveal not only their struggles and triumphs, but also the intricate human dynamics behind the legendary careers we continue to celebrate. Charles Bronson's reputation as one of Hollywood's most formidable actors has always been paired with an air of mystery. Known for his intense performances, especially in films like Death Wish and The Great Escape, Bronson built a career defined by discipline, resilience, and a quiet intensity that few could rival. Yet, despite decades in the spotlight, his personal relationships with fellow actors remained largely private, sparking speculation and curiosity among fans. Now, by finally speaking about James Garner, Bronson has offered a rare glimpse into the dynamics between two giants of the screen, a relationship that was as complex as it was fascinating. The history between Bronson and Garner spans decades, with both men reaching iconic status at roughly the same time. While Garner was celebrated for his charm and versatility, Bronson was admired for his grit and on-screen toughness. Industry insiders have long speculated about professional tensions, suggesting that the two often found themselves vying for similar roles, recognition, or status within Hollywood circles. Behind the cameras, their interactions were a mix of mutual respect and cautious distance, shaped by personalities that were fundamentally different, yet equally passionate about their craft. Bronson's revelations shed light on these nuanced dynamics, confirming some suspicions while challenging other long-held assumptions. Friends and colleagues describe Bronson as intensely private, someone who rarely shared his thoughts on personal matters, making this disclosure all the more significant. According to those close to him, his decision to speak about James Garner was not driven by drama or controversy, but by a desire to provide historical clarity. He recounts not only moments of professional friction, but also instances of admiration, camaraderie, and shared understanding of the pressures that come with fame. For fans, these details humanize both men, revealing that rivalry in Hollywood often coexists with respect, empathy, and an acknowledgement of each other's talents. Ultimately, this chapter in Bronson's life underscores the complexities of personal and professional relationships in Hollywood. By breaking his silence, he invites audiences to reconsider the narratives built over decades, offering a more nuanced understanding of the legendary figures involved. The story is not just about conflict or competition. It is about the challenges of maintaining authenticity, integrity, and mutual respect in an industry that thrives on public perception. Charles Bronson's account reminds us that behind the performances and accolades lie intricate human stories, where rivalry and respect are often two sides of the same coin, and where silence can finally give way to truth. The relationship between Charles Bronson and James Garner was never simple, and understanding it requires looking beyond the surface of Hollywood glamour. Both men were iconic in their own ways, Garner with his charm, wit, and versatility, and Bronson with his stoic intensity and rugged appeal. On the surface, it might have seemed that they were simply coexisting in the same industry, but behind closed doors, there were subtle tensions shaped by ambition, opportunity, and the pressures of fame. Roles, recognition, and public perception often became sources of unspoken rivalry, though neither man allowed this to overshadow their professionalism or dedication to their craft. Bronson's reflection on these years reveals the delicate balance between competition and respect. He recalls moments when career paths intersected, leading to both friendly banter and subtle friction, yet there was always an underlying acknowledgement of each other's talent. Garner's successes did not breed resentment. Rather, they highlighted the high standards and expectations that defined both actors. Bronson describes instances where he admired Garner's performances, noting that admiration often coexisted with professional rivalry, a nuance that fans rarely see when looking at Hollywood's public narratives. It is a reminder that competition can exist without malice, and respect can be quietly expressed even amidst tension. The public, of course, has long been fascinated by this dynamic, fueled by stories, rumors, and media speculation. When Bronson finally spoke, it was a moment that answered some questions while deepening others. Social media and fan communities immediately dissected his words, analyzing every detail for insight into the lives of two legends. Some were surprised by the depth of Bronson's admiration for Garner, while others were intrigued by the moments of candid reflection regarding industry challenges. The conversation shifted from simple curiosity to a more profound appreciation of the pressures and realities that both men faced, highlighting that their relationship was far more complex than popular opinion suggested. Ultimately, Bronson's revelations in this chapter emphasize that personal and professional lives in Hollywood are rarely straightforward. His account illustrates that respect, rivalry, and admiration can exist simultaneously, and that understanding the truth requires listening to those who lived it. By breaking his long-standing silence, Charles Bronson provides not only clarity on his relationship with James Garner, but also insight into the human side of fame, an element often overshadowed by public perception. It is a reminder that even the most private stories carry universal lessons about integrity, humility, and the intricate dance between competition and mutual respect. In a world built on visibility and performance, Charles Bronson's reflections also shed light on the personal side of his relationship with James Garner, a side rarely discussed in Hollywood circles. Beyond the professional tension and public speculation, there was a mutual understanding rooted in shared experiences. Both men navigated the intense pressures of stardom, grueling work schedules, and constant scrutiny from media and fans alike. Bronson recalls moments when these shared experiences created unspoken bonds, where rivalry took a backseat to empathy and a recognition of the challenges each man faced. It is a reminder that even in competitive industries, human connection and understanding often exist just beneath the surface. Friends and colleagues who witnessed their interactions describe a relationship marked by subtle gestures of respect and professional courtesy. While Hollywood gossip often amplified minor disagreements or perceived slights, Bronson's account clarifies that their interactions were mostly grounded in professionalism. He recounts occasions where he and Garner supported each other behind the scenes, whether by offering advice, sharing experiences, or simply acknowledging one another's contributions. These anecdotes reveal that beneath the veneer of Hollywood drama, there was a complex relationship defined as much by camaraderie as by competition. The broader industry context also shaped their relationship. In an era when roles for leading men were limited, and studios often pitted actors against each other for high-profile projects, friction was inevitable. Bronson's words highlight how this environment fostered both rivalry and admiration. He emphasizes that Garner's success was not a threat, but rather a testament to the level of excellence expected of actors in that era. Their careers, while occasionally intersecting, largely unfolded in parallel. each leaving an indelible mark on Hollywood. By sharing these reflections, Bronson allows fans to appreciate the nuance behind what might otherwise be interpreted as simple rivalry. Ultimately, this chapter underscores the human complexity behind public personas. Bronson's candid account demonstrates that professional relationships, especially among high-profile actors, are rarely straightforward. Competition, respect, admiration, and understanding coexist, often in delicate balance. By breaking his long-standing silence, Charles Bronson not only illuminates his relationship with James Garner, but also offers a broader lesson about the nature of collaboration and competition in Hollywood. It is a story that enriches the legacies of both men, revealing the intricate interplay of rivalry and respect that defined an unforgettable era of film. The era in which Charles Bronson and James Garner worked was one of immense pressure and constant public scrutiny. Both actors were navigating the peak of their careers while managing the expectations of studios, fans, and the media. Bronson's recent revelations highlight how these external pressures shaped their relationship, adding layers of tension, admiration, and respect. While rumors of friction have persisted for decades, his account clarifies that much of the tension was situational rather than personal, a byproduct of working in a high-stakes industry where competition was inevitable and every role mattered. Bronson recalls moments when competition for certain roles or recognition created brief friction. Yet he emphasizes that such moments never defined the entirety of their interactions. Behind the scenes, there was mutual acknowledgement of talent and craft. Garner's charm, wit, and professionalism were qualities Bronson respected deeply, even if they occasionally found themselves at odds in professional circumstances. This nuanced understanding challenges the simplistic narratives often perpetuated by tabloids or fan speculation, offering a rare and authentic glimpse into the dynamics of Hollywood's golden era and the human side of actors, who were often larger than life on screen. The public's fascination with this revelation is rooted in the contrast between perception and reality. For decades, audiences have constructed stories of rivalry, yet Bronson's words reveal the layered reality, that admiration, support, and subtle acts of respect were just as much a part of their story. Colleagues and insiders corroborate his account, noting that both men maintained a professional courtesy and occasionally collaborated in ways that went unnoticed by the public. The revelations also underscore the value of patience and timing in storytelling. Sometimes the truth emerges only decades later, offering clarity that was impossible in the heat of their careers. Ultimately, this chapter underscores the enduring legacy of both Charles Bronson and James Garner. Their careers, marked by iconic performances and personal integrity, are now better understood through the lens of mutual respect, professional rivalry, and the pressures of Hollywood life. Bronson's decision to finally speak illuminates not only his perspective, but also the broader truths about competition, camaraderie, and the human experiences behind the fame. It is a reminder that history is best understood through the voices of those who lived it, and that even the most enigmatic figures can offer profound insight when they choose to break their silence. Charles Bronson's decision to break his long-standing silence on James Garner marks a pivotal moment in Hollywood history. For decades, fans and historians have speculated about the dynamics between these two icons, but until now, Bronson's perspective remained largely private. His reflections provide rare insight into the professional and personal interactions that define their relationship, revealing a blend of rivalry, respect, and shared understanding. It is a story that goes beyond gossip, highlighting the challenges of navigating fame while maintaining integrity, and offering lessons about empathy, professionalism, and the human complexities behind the silver screen. Bronson recalls specific moments where competition intersected with admiration. Whether it was vying for roles, negotiating studio expectations, or simply striving for excellence in their craft, both men experienced pressures unique to their era. Yet these pressures did not erode the respect that underpinned their relationship. Bronson emphasizes that while Hollywood often fosters narratives of conflict, the reality is more nuanced. Behind the cameras, there was mutual acknowledgement of talent, subtle acts of support, and a shared understanding of the demands of their profession. This candid reflection challenges long-standing assumptions and encourages audiences to view their relationship through a more informed and empathetic lens. The revelation has also reignited discussions about legacy. Bronson and Garner, each legendary in his own right, left indelible marks on cinema, influencing generations of actors and audiences alike. By speaking about his interactions with Garner, Bronson contextualizes not only their personal relationship, but also the broader landscape of Hollywood during their peak. He highlights how professional rivalry can coexist with respect, and how public perception often overlooks the subtleties of collaboration, mentorship, and mutual admiration. Fans now have the opportunity to appreciate the depth of their connection, beyond the surface-level narratives that have persisted for decades. Ultimately, this chapter, and indeed the story as a whole, serves as a testament to authenticity, courage, and the enduring power of personal perspective. Charles Bronson's words remind us that even the most stoic and private figures can hold profound insights about their peers, the industry, and the human experience. By sharing his side of the story, he not only sheds light on his relationship with James Garner, but also enriches our understanding of Hollywood's golden era. It is a narrative that blends history, emotion, and revelation, leaving audiences with a deeper appreciation for both men and the intricate world in which they forged their legendary careers.